only an hour and a half away from Paris. Entering Auxerre, one feels to have traveled back centuries with its 1,000-year-old buildings and its magnificent cathedral and abbey. Christianity began in Auxerre in the 3rd century when Pelerin came to evangelize, quickly converting and baptizing the city inhabitants. In the 6th century, a cathedral was built on the tallest hill of the city, although it was destroyed in 887. The bishops built a new one, again destroyed by fire just a few decades later in 950. A third one had just been finished 70 years later when yet another fire burnt it down to the ground in 1023. That same year, Bishop Hugues de Chalon built a much larger cathedral, of which only the crypt remains. In 1215, Bishop Guillaume de Seignelay decided to tear down the cathedral built 2 centuries earlier by Bishop Hugues because it wasn't in the style of the times. He wanted a Gothic cathedral like the one in Paris. Over the next 2 centuries, the structure was nearly completed, with the rose windows and stained glass added in the 16th century. The building wasn't quite completed when, in 1567, a mob inspired by the Protestant Reformation took over the town and smashed the porter sculptures in lower parts of the windows. After the French Revolution of the late 18th century, the Auxerre diocese was dismantled and the cathedral neglected. Restoration began in the early 20th century, now offering a magnificent cathedral inside and out. The cathedral is 300 feet long and 112 feet high. With its many windows, it has great luminosity, day or night. The cathedral's grand organ was built in the 19th century and rebuilt around 1980. Following damage from a storm in 2005, it received further restoration in 2011 and given additional stops, including trumpets that echo through the cathedral's chamber. A few blocks down from the cathedral is the Abbey of Saint Germain. This monastic complex, located outside the fortifications, was founded by Queen Clotilde in the 5th century. The Abbey's church is Gothic in style, with a 12th century tower of St. Jean overlooking the buildings with its imposing spire of convex 8-sided stone. Built around the tomb of Saint Germain, who lived from 378 to 448, its 9th century crypts are decorated with murals, mosaics, and statues, remarkable for their condition, given that they are the oldest in France. Now, this magnificent building has been converted into a museum. During our visit, there was a sculpture exhibition of human statues with dramatic expressions. I particularly like this one of the secret lovers in a closet. After touring the cathedral and the abbey, enjoy a stroll through town. At 35,000 population, Auxerre is the 4th largest city in Burgundy, with lovely little lanes, stores, and restaurants. End your visit with a sunset stroll on a bridge crossing the River Yonne for a magnificent view of the cathedral and abbey. This is Dr. Philip Levin with Dr. Streams Videos. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.